delivering authentic value through interpreting global literary treasures. Hi, this is Sally's Book Talk. Today we're exploring the book titled Unity and Division. Subtitle: Revelations from Chinese History, authored by Professor Ji Jianshang from Fudan University. Professor Ji serves on the International Commission for Historical Demography, specializing in historical geography and migration studies. If you've read Romance of the Three Kingdoms, you'll recall its famous line, "The empire long divided must unite, long united must divide," the core theme driving its narrative. As a historical geographer, Professor G believes these cycles contain deeper complexities worth exploring. This book employs rich historical sources and unique perspectives to analyze unification and fragmentation. The author establishes analytical frameworks to help readers systematically understand these historical patterns. These original insights offer valuable perspectives on China's historical trajectory and contemporary development. We'll explore three key questions. 1. How to define unification versus division. 2. Historical evaluation criteria. 3. Contemporary relevance. First question: how do we determine historical unification or division in China? Simplistically speaking, this concerns territorial integrity. Complete territory implies unity, fragmented territory suggests division. However, reality proves more nuanced. The author emphasizes three critical considerations for proper evaluation. First, clarifying the concept of China, the fundamental prerequisite. What constitutes China? This term's meaning has evolved through different eras. In Shangzhou periods, it meant royal domains. Sonming eras denoted cultural spheres. Only modern times established its national meaning. When analyzing unification or division, we must apply the modern national definition, not historical interpretations. Only then does the term carry clear territorial definition, establishing the premise for judging unity or division. Secondly, which historical Chinese territory should serve as the basis when determining unity or division? The author argues for using the Qing dynasty's maximum territory, modern China plus areas east of Balkhash Lake, Pamir south of Mongolian Plateau, Outer Khingan Range. After clarifying these points, the author emphasizes defining unity to eliminate ambiguity. Unity means political consistency and centralization within states or regimes, forming an integrated entity. This definition prioritizes high-level integration as unity's essential characteristic. Applying the principle of political consistency forming integrated entity, Professor G establishes clear perspectives on China's historical unity or division. First, dynasty continuity doesn't equal unity. New dynasties often begin as regional regimes. Example: Emperor Guanwu, establishing Eastern Han in 25 AD, initially controlled limited territory. Thus, the Han's establishment couldn't be considered immediate unification. Similarly, nominal dynasty continuation doesn't guarantee maintained unity. The Eastern Han persisted until 220 AD, despite Yellow Turban Rebellion's 184 AD fragmentation. But we can't consider unity maintained through mere nominal allegiance. True unity requires mutual recognition between unifier and unified, not just tributary relations. Historiographical critique with balanced tone overstate tributary systems as unification evidence. Reality requires contextual analysis. Example: Korea and Vietnam maintained tributary relations, but retained autonomous governance systems. Similarly, Japan received imperial titles from Chinese emperors during Eastern Han period, but was never unified with China. So, third, shared institutions and culture don't equate to political unity. Neighboring states often adopted Chinese systems voluntarily without political integration. Japan, Korea, Vietnam extensively adopted Chinese institutions yet maintained independence. These never became integral parts of China. Fourth, military occupation doesn't constitute unification. Territorial conquest without governance doesn't qualify as true unification. Han expeditions to Mongolia, Xiongnu incursions into Shanxi, Tibetan capture of Chang'an, none achieved lasting unity. These temporary occupations didn't establish genuine unification. The author challenges conventional wisdom, unity as historical norm. His conclusions differ significantly. Applying his criteria, true complete unity only existed 1759 to 1840 during Qianlong's reign. Having established how to determine unity or division, we now evaluate the historical value of unity versus division. Having clarified evaluation principles in previous discussion, the author offers unconventional perspectives on assessing unity's merits. Conventional argument recapitulation, conventional wisdom favors unity for stability and development. Unified states enable economic growth and national defense. While acknowledging these benefits, the author introduces alternative considerations. First, centralized resources enable both grand projects and imperial excess. Autocratic rulers often misallocated resources for personal luxury, hindering development. For instance, many emperors lavished gifts on foreigners to display wealth without economic consideration. Emperor Yang of Sui ordered silk-wrapped trees to impress foreign envoys. Zheng He's voyages primarily aimed to distribute imperial gifts for political allegiance. Countless emperors drained treasuries for palaces and mausoleums. Secondly, unified empires didn't necessarily achieve administrative efficiency. Mass territories caused communication challenges between regions and capital. Ancient transportation limitations exacerbated bureaucratic complexities. Multiple administrative layers further reduced governance effectiveness. Disaster response is often delayed until situations became critical. Bureaucratic hierarchies paralyzed local decision-making during crises. Historical praise for maverick officials reveals systemic rigidity. Centralized policies often ignored regional specificities. Ming Dynasty's coastal ban punished all for regional piracy issues. Blanket policies harmed innocent coastal populations. Division could paradoxically yield positive outcomes. Economically fragmented states sometimes drove development. Unified regimes lacked motivation for frontier development without population pressure. Sun Wu's Jiangnan region transformed through refugee-driven development. Northern refugees forced economic innovation in southern territories. 70 years of development laid foundation for Zhongnan's economic prominence. Divisions sometimes accelerated ethnic integration and cultural preservation. Nomadic invasions drove agricultural communities southward, creating new cultural syntheses. It was during these prolonged periods of fragmented struggle that nomadic tribes gradually embraced agricultural civilization and rapidly integrated with it. From Western Jin's collapse to Sui Emperor Wen's unification, 265 years of conflict. Song Dynasty's 363 years struggles with Khitan, Jurchen, and Mongol regimes. The northern regimes ultimately prevailed. They adopted southern administrative systems and cultural influences. The Khitan-led Liao dynasty established agricultural settlements with dual administrative systems for different ethnic groups. The Cao family created Qingshang music in Central Plains, preserved through southern migration during turmoil. After Sui unification, Qingshang music returned north from southern preservation. This musical tradition might have been lost without regional protection. Division provided more opportunities for talent development. As the saying goes, chaos breeds heroes. Multiple regimes meant career choices for talents. Bei Kui, of late Eastern Han, chose Cao Cao over Yuan Shu, later achieving high status. General Li Guang, flying general, of Western Han, never achieved due recognition. Committing suicide after military disgrace, his fate might have differed in divided eras. Even Emperor Wen believed Li Guan would have excelled in warring states period. Divided eras often possess unique historical charm. The warring states period saw competing regimes while foundational Chinese philosophies emerged. But was division truly so ideal, so flawless? The author certainly doesn't advocate such extreme views. The author explicitly states that divided eras don't necessarily foster intellectual progress, nor does intense fragmentation benefit academic development. Well, constant warfare during divisions leaves little room for scholarly pursuits. This principle applies equally to other societal aspects beyond academia. Ultimately, evaluating unity versus division becomes a matter of perspective. Absolute judgments about unity or division's inherent value lack scientific basis. This reflects the author's analytical approach. The author's evaluation criteria focus not on unity or division itself, but deeper underlying factors. So, what exactly are these intrinsic factors? I believe it fundamentally concerns socio-political systems. As clarified in the conclusion, unity's drawbacks stem from governing systems, not unity itself. Similarly, division's benefits come from challenging outdated institutions, not division per se. Some might ask, does analyzing ancient history hold modern relevance? This leads to our third question. What's the modern significance of studying historical unity or division? The author concludes, though discussing past empires, we ultimately face the future world. As historical analysis ultimately serves contemporary understanding, key modern relevance lies in interpreting the cycle of division and reunification paradigm. While historically validated, does this cycle apply to China's future? Must China perpetuate this historical pattern? The author believes China's unification foundations are now unshakable. Reform policies since 1978 strengthened national cohesion. Modern reforms harmonize central local relations, ethnic religious diversity, and regional cultures within unified framework. The adage, long divided must unite, long united must divide, remains partially applicable, but division here means moderate differentiation, not political fragmentation, like allowing regional exploration of localized implementation methods. China's vast regional differences necessitate flexible policy adaptations. Localized policy experimentation strengthens national unity through adaptive implementation. The core modern significance lies in institutional innovation, addressing contemporary challenges. Beyond systemic analysis, the author offers practical insights. Though varying in expression, these maintain consistent analytical frameworks. Curious readers are encouraged to explore supplementary materials. This concludes our book analysis. The above covers primary content. Let's examine the book's structure. A popular history work. First three chapters detail historical facts, latter two present original theories. The 2013 edition includes appendices with specialized essays. These essays provide concentrated insights supplementing main text. Important reminder, these represent Professor G's personal methodology. My interpretation remains subjective analysis. Readers should form their own conclusions through critical engagement. That concludes our analysis of unity and division. Study notes available below.